Andy did say exactly that. He said, I don't care how many Bravo podcasts, the more the merrier. Guess what, guys? I make $50 million a year. I don't give a fuck. So there's another guy. There's another guy that doesn't give a fuck. David, Sarah, Bethenny, and Andy don't give a fuck what you say.
Oh, Andy doesn't care at all.
But
Andy loves the drama.
He loves it. So to his point, he's probably like, cha-ching, cha-ching. People are talking about our new RHONY. Last week, y'all weren't even sure you were going to watch. It's not Andy bad for the network.
Happier. Yeah, he loves it.
Couldn't be happier. In other RHONY news, man, we are on a RHONY kick today.
I know, there's a lot of RHONY news, yeah.
Well, before we get into Ramona, she was out, and I guess she ran into Uba Hassan, who was one of the new RHONY girls. And I forgot where she was. I think she was at some Halloween. You know what? I mean, aren't you tired of going out every night, Ramona? I mean, I'm like, let's not talk about how much younger I am. This is not age shaming, but like that Ramona, man, aren't you tired? It's so exhausting going out every night. It's not, guys, this Instagram life that you think everyone has, fabulous. It's not. I live in New York. I've been out every night. It's not, I'm much happier staying home. I mean, I do go out, not like before COVID, but it's not as great as it looks.
Yeah, but that's generation. That's our generation. You know, Ramona's generation, they went out. You know, they didn't. This is long before the internet. This is long before, you know, fairly good television. I don't know, you know, whatever. The Mets won sometime in the 80s. I mean, this was when your highlight was going out. And they still go out. That's what they do.
Man.
Older people love to go out. I hope that too. I've been sitting in my home. Now I work from my house. And I was thinking, oh, I got to get out on the fucking town. I live in Los Angeles. I live in Hollywood. I need to get out, be at Chateau Marmont. But I'm with you. It's like, it's so comfortable to be in your pajamas. Like,
well, guess what, sweetheart? You're going to be out in January.
When you're here, I mean, we are out. I mean, I want us out multiple nights a week. Fabulous dinners, cocktails at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I mean, we're going to go to Kathy's. We're going to Kathy's. We are going to Kathy's. We're getting a set of her new pajamas. We're going to sit there, and I want Kathy's staff to bring me out a baked potato with a huge helping of caviar from Russia. I want it all.
I want it all. Well, Ramona ran into Uba Hassan, and she seems so drunk, which no shade, props. Cause
Ramona's used to seeing that.
Ramona seemed drunk, and she was like, I'm at Cipriani's or wherever she was, and she's like, I'm passing the torch. I put my stamp of approval on this girl. It's like these people just find each other. I'm like, man, she was so happy to be in this like video and picture with the future. So that was her and Uba. Find the video. You know, look, Ramona has it's like, look, what came first, the chicken or the egg? I mean, Page Six has gone forward with their story. No surprises that the new cast will include, you know, probably like Kelly Ben-Simone and Dorinda and Sonja and Lou and Jill, and then we'll cast a few others. And Ramona's name is not mentioned. You know, you and I have talked about it on here before. I've said I believe it's a whole HR thing, and everyone grew up in arms. I have no opinion, just giving you the facts. And I'm really starting to think that anytime you and I said like Ramona will be part of it, she's done. She's really done. So I think she knows she's done. And now the article comes out. So now she's saying, hey, guess what? I'm quitting. I'm done. Well, I don't know, you know, if that's really what happens. First of all the New York girls are currently fired. There was no RHONY with any of the old girls. They're all fired. Luann and Sonja got hired for a new show. That's over with. So now they're back in the available category. And Ramona's been fired along with everyone else. No, she's not going to be on Legacy. It really is over for her.
So you're not buying the whole thing that Ramona's just done with the franchise, doesn't want to do reality TV anymore. You don't believe it. Okay, you don't believe it. You think that's probably what everybody is saying.
As my friend Carlos King once said on the Behind the Velvet Rope podcast, and I disagree with Carlos in this sense, but I agree with him 98%. He said, no housewife, David, no housewife ever, because you know how Carlos talks, has ever turned down an offer. Well, Carlos, I respectfully disagree. I mean, Bethenny Frankel has turned down offers, but I agree with him with very few exceptions that No, I think if Ramona's phone rang and they said, here's the salary, she would do legacy. She's not, and even Dorinda's come out and said, I mean, Dorinda's no Ramona lover these days, which is, there's another friendship which existed for years, guys, off camera, years in New York City on the Upper East Side before the cameras got involved. But Dorinda's even come out and said, I feel for Ramona. She's just trying to like save face. And no, I don't buy it. I believe right now that Ramona is done because she's fired. I believe she is not going to be part of Legacy. They are not going to ask her. She's too problematic. She's too off brand now. And I mean, and again, I've said this before, anytime there's a pause, the people you think you can't live without, you've lived without them, which is why this Beverly Hills pause is really, I believe Rinna was going to be back. We were right. Rinna was coming back. I don't know now. She still might come back, but this pause till January, it ain't helping her case. I think that's the thing with Ramona. We've lived without her. We've lived without Luann and Sonja and Jill and Kelly. We've lived without RHONY. So I just think it's fine. It will go on fine without her. I do think but I don't believe, no. I believe if they asked her, she would be there with bells on, sweetheart, with bells. But I think she knows the thing. I told you this before, the thing about Ramona, because we have a very good mutual friend in common. When Ramona used to say things to my friend, and then my friend would tell me, they were always correct. No, this one's not getting fired. Trust me. Correct. Ramona always knew. She's really good at knowing the situation. Unlike, I mean, I hate to say Sonja, but did I just say Sonja? Unlike other housewives, Ramona is very self-aware. She really is. Now, I know that might sound crazy because she's like, look at her antics, but she's self-aware about her position. I mean, I'm not saying she's a lovely person. She's obnoxious, but she knows it's over in her heart. And so like, just say this and I guess save whatever face, and the network doesn't care. They can't be bothered.
Well, to your point about kind of time, makes everybody disappear to some degree or whatever. I mean, I think Ramona is smart enough to see what's happened with Nene, what's happened with Bethenny, although of course they'd have Bethenny back in a heartbeat. But, I think Ramona is smart in playing this like, hey, I'm just going to step back. It's me. And, you don't know what 2 years brings. It works in both directions, right? I mean, we're finally bringing back Jill's Aaron. Of course, Jill's a different issue, but, maybe you give it 2 years. All of a sudden, Ramona comes back. Everybody's forgotten. Of course, some people on the internet will remember, but, everybody will have moved on. There'll be multiple other new scandals. And maybe she comes back for a girls' trip. Maybe she comes back and she's suddenly a friend again on New York. You don't know. So I think she's smart to just let it breathe.
She's smart to let it breathe. And I mean, hello, paging Lisa Rinna. Have you spoken to Ramona? Lisa,